Avoid buying anything new. Everything's overpriced and the quality is low. And issue after issue. Every manufacturer now is switching from naturally aspirated to turbocharged engines. It doesn't make sense. Honestly, you really don't even get much better fuel economy in most situations, especially with pickup trucks and SUVs. And you're getting a less reliable situation because the turbocharger increases heat. I just got a comment and I had to make this video. He said, why would you spend all this money on a new vehicle and end up having it burn oil and then you take it in and the service manager says it's normal? Yeah, that is very common. Do you guys remember Honda when they switched the Civic and everything over to a turbo? It was burning oil. Everybody was talking about it. And then Honda just said, yeah, it's normal. It's going to burn some oil. It has a turbo. It's going to, higher thermal load with turbo engines. It is what it is. There's no way around it. Most mechanics would always agree, generally speaking, with the naturally aspirated gasoline engine, you want naturally aspirated. You don't want turbo. Yeah, you can argue with diesel, of course. That's a different situation. But whenever it comes to a gas engine, and even with the diesel, whenever those turbo diesels break down or something goes wrong, it is not cheap. So whenever you have a turbo on top of these engines, it increased the cost to repair. So there's all these increased costs to repair these new vehicles because they just added a turbo. And the turbo doesn't do much. Yeah, you can argue it does increase emissions, but honestly, it doesn't increase MPG. And then that's where it doesn't make sense to me. How does MPG not align with emissions? What in the world? Because the new Tacoma, they switched it from a V6 to a 4-cylinder. They made all these people mad, and it's less reliable. And honestly, it's not even as good of a truck, and now nobody really likes it. So it's real unfortunate. And luckily, Nissan's still sticking with their V6 and their Frontier, but it's just sad that all these manufacturers are running over that way. But I saw this comment, and I had to make this video because I made a video in the past. Avoid all new vehicles. New equals trash. It's literally a fact. New is not what it used to be. There's nothing like before D-cylinder activation, before all that kind of stuff. You cannot tell me an older 2500, those things are built tough. Those things run forever. Even an older 1500 before D-cylinder activation. Now Chevy has all these lifter issues because they have all these D-cylinder activation stuff going on. It's just too much. And of course you're going to have more issues. But if you keep your car for a long time, do not buy a new car expecting to keep it for a long time. Now, I have a Toyota 4Runner. It's naturally aspirated. It's an old school vehicle, even though it is one of the newer ones, but it's been the same vehicle for 15 years. So there's still a few dinosaurs out there, but most of the vehicles are modern, turbocharged, complicated, plastic, pieces of crap, overcharged, overpriced. Man, don't buy it. It's just a waste of money. And the other thing is, a lot of people, if you don't keep your car, who cares? A lot of people trade their car in all the time, believe it or not. And yeah, that's probably not the smartest financial decision, and that's just my opinion, but man, that is a interesting situation. But if you keep your car for a long time, do not buy a new vehicle, especially one of these turbocharged vehicles, because it ain't going to work out so well. And then guess what? I looked up, people don't change their oil. You can go to some of these Carfaxes, and I know you can do your oil on your own and it won't show up on the Carfax, but a lot of people buying, let's say this Dodge Hornet. I found one online, it was showing the first oil change wasn't since 27,000 miles. If it went that long without one, that's insane. And even manufacturers like Toyota say 10,000 mile oil changes, and that's not okay, especially for a turbocharged engine to go 10,000 miles, especially city driving. That's a no-go. Yeah, man, it's such a bad situation. Do not do that. But man, people are doing it all the time. Let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think you would avoid all new vehicles pretty much? Do you think most new vehicles, especially this turbocharged stuff, is not good for longevity and reliability? It's just my opinion. That's what I think. And a lot of mechanics tend to agree with that just because it makes sense. There's a logic behind it. And I'm not just trying to be a hater on new vehicles, but when these new vehicles like a Toyota Tundra switch from a reliable, naturally aspirated to a turbocharged, and they increase the price, what in the world? How does that make any sense? More plastic and you charge more for it? What? So it doesn't make any sense. Don't change your oil every 10,000 miles with these turbocharged engines or any engine, you do 5,000 mile. That's just what you do. That's, with synthetic, it's just what you do. But let me know what you think. Avoid all of these new vehicles. It's my opinion. Have a great day and stay blessed.